Hollywood, where dreams come true. Unless you dare to dream something bold and original. My name is Eric John Rush, and I invite you to part 2 of my epic miniseries, The Spoils of Babylon. After a painful ordeal to bring my popular novels to television, I gave up. I could see that the network executives cared little for art, so I filmed The Spoils of Babylon on my own. With my own money. Money gotten from many best-selling novels. I lived and breathed spoils for 3 years. I slept with the cast. Every member of the cast you'll see tonight, I slept with. My wife at the time, Loria Samcake, the actress who plays Cynthia Morehouse, was very adventurous in all matters sexual. The woman had no shame. Like Eve before the fall, we often would hold up shooting to take pleasure of each other's flesh in front of everyone. In fact, she could. Tonight's episode covers the war years, and they are based on my own terrifying experiences reading about the war as a child. The deep love between Cynthia and her brother Devon cannot be torn apart by war or separated by an ocean. But Devon's return home changes everything, sets into motion the great drama of their lives. Please, won't you enjoy part 2 of my wonderful miniseries, The Spoils of Babylon? Why would I say wonderful? Makes no bloody sense. No one says wonderful. Sounds like something a man from a circus would say. A carnival barker, if you will, would say wonderful. I don't say wonderful. I never have. I refuse to say wonderful. It's not wonderful. It's momentous. It's epic. But this miniseries is not wonderful.
Previously on The Spoils of Babylon.
My name is Devon Morehouse. My story is an epic one.
Look, Father, there's someone walking.
From now on, your last name is Morehouse.
You can't marry me. You heard Father. I'm your brother now.
We're not even related. Kiss me.
The money ran out and most of his land was sold off for taxes.
That well ain't never coming in.
There's oil down in that ground, and I'm gonna get it.
Devon, we struck oil! Son of a bitch, it's oil!
Act like you don't want to make money.
I don't. Never have.
Devon, you haven't asked me to dance all night.
Pearl Harbor came under attack from Japanese and naval forces.
What does it mean?
It means war, Cynthia. I'm joining up. This is my life, or what remains of it.
Morehouse, the squadron leader. I'm taking enemy fire.
Hold them off, son. Keep those jets off our bomber.
There's more action up here than a cat house on payday. Take that here, Hito.
Nice shooting, Morehouse.
It's hotter than a cat house on a Saturday night in July, Captain.
Don't look now, but jets coming in at 12 o'clock.
Roger that. Diving.
Look out, Morehouse. Bail out, Morehouse. Bail out.
Sorry, Captain. I'm gonna look around for some mischief to get into.
Eject now, soldier. That's an order.
No can do. Looks like the man upstairs has punched my ticket. I'm heading to that big cat house in the sky.
Morehouse, don't be a fool.
Fool? I don't think so. Is it a fool who goes up in flames on the altar of freedom? Would a fool rather die than see the world turned upside down by these devils? No, sir. I'm no fool. Unless turning my back on love makes me a fool, which I have done. Turn my back on love, I mean. My father used to say, when a man meets his maker face to face and has to account for his time on this great green earth of ours, what does he stand for that actually matters? I mean, what really counts? How many enemies he's killed, the size of his bank account? Sorry, I'm not buying it. All that really matters is how we conduct ourselves in the throes of love. Do we shy away from the vulnerability that love brings, or do we embrace it, daring to taste its exquisite This is Lieutenant Devin Morehouse. If you can still hear me, please tell my sister that
Cynthia, you've been in your room all day.
Sorry, Father.
What is it, girl?
It's Devin. Something's wrong.
Wrong. Now you're just filling your head with fear. Come downstairs. It's a party.
Oh, something's wrong. I can feel it. We have a special bond. I know something's wrong.
You got to stop this. Special bond. It's not natural. I will not be shamed by this.
Why can't I go to you? Where are you, Devin? Oh, Devin.
Oh. Whew. That will go down as the finest landing in history of the Naval Air Corps. I must remind myself to give myself a medal. Oh, no. I need a light. Oh, well. Gotta find a light. Finally, any one of you fish eaters got a light?
We know that his plane went down over Okajaba. His captain saw a large ball of fire rise up when his plane hit.
So you're telling me that my son, Devin Morehouse, is dead?
We can't be certain. It's unlikely any man could survive that kind of burning destruction. It's created by a Hellcat upon impact. No man ever has.
But you don't know. Why don't you go in there and organize a raid or something and bring him out?
Cynthia!
I don't understand.
Cynthia!
Is he dead or not?
As General Khalif just said, there isn't a man alive who could have survived the fiery inferno of that plane going down. Every bone in his body would have been charred and crushed. But we simply can't be sure.
He's on that island. Let me go there. Let me talk to this Mr. Tanaka.
No need for air quotes. That's his real name. Jonas, I'm sorry. We just have no more information.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for making the trip out here to the house. It means a lot to me and my daughter. You are here in this room with us.
It means a lot to us, sir, to be here with you in this very room in person.
Well, thank you for being here in person in this room.
It's the least we can do to be with you here, all together in the same space and time. Well, it's always a tough call.
Never know what to say. Oh, man seemed to take it well enough.
I felt sorry for the girl.
You too? Mm-hmm. She was a very good-looking young lady.
I like that type. And I do.
To be honest, I couldn't stop staring at her.
Well, I'll be frank. When she walked in the room, I almost forgot why we were there.
Why were we there?
Here's the thing about the Japanese. We called them Japs back then. They're not a bad bunch.
Sure, there was the daily beatings, the starvation, the constant barking in that dog language. But there was that occasional smile and maybe even a little respect for a warrior they couldn't break. Kind of tore me up a little bit when I finally got my revenge.
MRED 1 to Air Command Base 403. Come in, Command Base 403. I need you to hit this hill, coordinates GC5 with everything you got, right down to the beach.
Welcome back to the game, Lieutenant.
I never left it. I never left it. My knowledge of the Japanese took me to London, where I oversaw the Quadrilateral International Committee for Wartime Mission Appropriation.
To the mission and the United States of America.
To the United States of America.
And Great Britain. To who? England. It's our turn to shine.
Hear, hear.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, hear. No offense.
A little bit of offense. Right.
After the war, I stayed in London and tried hard to forget Cynthia. I freed myself from her the only way I knew how. Only then could I return home.
Surprise!
Surprise! Oh, wow, thank you!
Oh, Devin, it's really you.
Yes, so good to see y'all.
Welcome home, son.
I have a surprise for you. I want to introduce you to the new Mrs. Devin Morehouse. Lady Anne York.
Oh, cheerio. I'm Lady Anne.
Well, I'll be. Everybody say hi to Miss Lady Anne York.
Oh, Devin. Was it all a dreadful mistake?
A mistake? Never, my love. Oh, don't say such foolish things. How could our love be a mistake?
Well, that's your sister. The look she gave me all afternoon is like... It's like...
It's like what?
I hate to say so, but it's almost as if she was not your sister, but more like a jealous lover.
Oh, no. Nonsense. That's just Cynthia. We were very close as kids. You know, we
Devin, it's just... I love you so much.
Oh, yes, I'm glad. Hey, dinner isn't for another hour.
Oh, Devin, I'm not sure I'm much up for dinner anyway tonight.
Well, how about we, go lay down and idle away our time doing nothing at all?
Oh, Devin, take me to bed.
see you finally made it to breakfast.
I wish Devon had told me.
Well, we run a business here. We've all been up for hours. I'm guessing you didn't work much in Wellingham.
Wellington Shire. And no, I'm afraid I didn't.
I'm having a Bloody Mary made with Bagpipes O'Toole brand vodka. Would you like one?
I don't drink alcohol, but thank you.
So, what are your plans?
Plans? Sorry, I don't understand.
You and Devon, are you going to be staying around here or going back to England?
Oh, goodness, no. I'm here to stay.
Here? In this house?
Cynthia, I do wish we could be friends. Devon and I are man and wife now.
Of course.
I know you have deep feelings for your brother, and the two of you do share a strong filial bond, but Devon is my husband. We are lovers. There is a wonderful spiritual nature to our love, and at the same time, a delicious earthiness. A physical bond that only two bodies coming together naked in God's eyes can really know. For although you have a sister's love for Devon, which is lovely, we have something different. A lusting, sensual, truly naked love, consummated in both spiritual and sexual intercourse.
Okay. There's something you should know. Devon is in love with me, and not the kind of love that you think. True, he's my brother, but he is also a man. And I am a woman, full-bodied and sensual. Devon has fought his lust for me his entire life. But battles are not war, and I fight this war with nature on my side. And let me tell you something. Devon will be mine, and not as my brother, but as my lover.
We shall see.
Yes, we shall.
For now, it is my bed he sleeps in, and I too am a woman. Not some cold, distant thing, but a warm, voluptuous female animal who is not afraid to use my own physical gifts to keep my man.
I hardly think an English tart is any match for a real woman.
Oh, I'm a real woman. Anytime you want to find out, you can come and watch your brother delighting in it.
How dare you! How dare she what?
How dare she think that this silverware of ours is better than hers?
You women fight over the most peculiar things. Hi, darling.
Devon, we really need to talk today about the business. You know, Father's ill, and
I've time to chat later, but first I want to show Lady Ann here what 1,000,000 acres looks like.
Lady Ann, Lady Ann, wherefore
Oh my goodness, there's so many acres.
summer day, winter time,
Oh, Devon, it's beautiful.
with Lady Ann. If the sun should go away, the night would only have to say, Lady Ann, Lady Ann, Lady Ann. What is the measure?
My sister Cynthia proved to be a savvy businesswoman. While I was away at war, and while Father grew more ill, she guided the company very well. She continued our profitable association with the military with bigger and bigger contracts. We expanded into other markets, rubber and plastics, synthetics and paints and soybeans and toys. One day, Father came to me and asked me to take a drive. I was sure he was too ill, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. We drove way out into the hills to see an old friend of his named Seymour Luntz. What is it?
It's what dreams are made of.
It looks like a carburetor.
It is. It's a carburetor. Mr. Luntz is being modest. This year is a magical dynamo of engineering and mechanical wizardry that will topple nations and transport souls.
Well, what kind of carburetor is it?
Well, I modified it. It runs on steam. I get 200 miles a gallon with this.
It's impossible.
You need some rest.
Nonsense! I'm fine.
Who else knows about this?
Nobody. You understand? This is my legacy. Our gift to the world.
Well, when can it be ready?
I gotta get different metal on it. It heats up too fast. Sorry? I gotta get different metal, use different metal on it, so it heats up too fast, it's gonna get melty. Seymour needs time.
This thing will destroy the oil industry. It will revolutionize the auto industry. No one must know about this until we are ready. No one.
It will be our gift to mankind.
Well, there it is. The story continues the next time. I'll be here waiting for you. Probably in the same booth with the same moribund look on my face. How could it be otherwise? Doris, would you like to have lunch with me? Doris, can you pour the wine into my mouth for me? What year is this? What's that? I should hardly think so. I owned a race car in those days. I did. I raced in Monte Carlo that year. However, it wasn't on race day. It's a miracle no one was hurt. Absolute miracle.
I deserve this. You've worked hard today.
Don't take the bottle, Doris. I wasn't done with that.